gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is the dear UG here, and I think Mother Nature and windy all day today in the state of Virginia, at least in the part I'm in anyway. You know who I am? I'm Doug, I am the trophy hunter extraordinaire. Of course, in the chat party with me, he'll be back in a few seconds. I think he had to go get something to drink. It is Mr. Johnny Be Good. Also in the chat party with me, two guys who don't really watch football and probably couldn't tell you the difference between Tennessee or Kansas City. It is Fire Ninja. And of course the man who probably would burn down Detroit if the Lions ever made the Super Bowl, Giant Vibrator. Or is that just the Pistons?
Let's go Bears.
Well, the Bears ain't in the playoffs, but yeah, I kind of figured that was what you would say if they were.
I'd say... Well, honestly, if I live in Michigan, I'd say to all of every Michigan team.
Fair enough. Now, of course, last week, unfortunately, your boy here went 2-2. For the playoffs right now, I am 3-5, so not a great start, unfortunately. And there's Johnny Be Good. He is back.
Oh, you already started?
Yeah, I'm just getting to introducing and recapping, so you haven't missed much. In case if you do need a recap, the 49ers beat the Vikings 27-10, and it was probably the easiest game to predict. Titans beat the Ravens, and showing that apparently Ryan Tannehill knows how to play football. You know, his whole career in Miami, he didn't know how to throw a ball at all. Chiefs made a comeback against the Texans, setting a record. And the Packers barely got by Seattle, and I mean barely got by Seattle. So getting to some news real quick before we get to the games this weekend. First thing first. Apparently, Odell Beckham Jr. Monday night handed out real cash to the LSU players after their win against Clemson. So Odell Beckham Jr. will probably have all those players will be getting suspended because of him. Good job. Also, sources have been confirming that the Giants won't interview former Dallas Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett for the offensive coordinator job. If that happens, I feel sorry for the Giants. Yeah, but now there's sources that are kind of guaranteeing it. We shall see. Alright, now for some Hall of Fame news. They did announce the members of the Hall of Fame class. Former NFL Commissioner Paul T., former NFL Films President Steve S., and two players from the league's most iconic defenses were among those selected for the Pro Hall of Fame class. 13 members of the 15-member class were revealed Wednesday morning on NFL Network. Former Pittsburgh safety Don Shell and Dallas Cowboys safety Cliff Harris were among the inductees. Of course, over the weekend we did see Jimmy Johnson and former Steelers head coach go in as well. Bill Collar get announced. Also announced, former Eagles wide receiver Harold C. I'm not going to try to pronounce the last names because I would screw it up. Chicago Bears tackle Jim C. Green Bay Packers defensive back Bobby Dillon, probably the only one I can pronounce. New York Jets tackle Wilson Hill. Detroit Lions defensive tackle Alex K. The Chicago Cardinals, yes, remember the Cardinals and Bears had to do some of the merge for a little while. Tackle Duke Slater. Cleveland Browns wide receiver Max Speedy. Bears defensive end Ed Sparkley, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. And lastly, New York Giants general manager George Young. Well, all your Hall of Fame class. So there was that. You know, the Hall of Fame class of 2020 conspires the modern era players will be selected in Miami. So keep that in mind. And now, time probably for the most controversial thing that pissed off Saints fans, and unfortunately, it pissed me off as well. Who has been announced as the head referee for the Super Bowl? Johnny, would you like to take a guess who it is?
The one that was in the Rams-Saints game?
Correct. As a matter of fact, the one who did the no call pass interference. Veteran referee Bill Voucher will be the head referee for the Super Bowl crew. Now, this is his 15th season as an NFL official. He previously was the 2015 game between New England and Seattle. But here's the thing, there's a lot of fans out there, not only Saints fans, but a lot of fans in general, who are not happy about this due to how he blatantly missed calls the last few years. I'm going to say this now with him being the official head referee for the Super Bowl. We are not going to see a clean game. We will see players be able to get away with some shit. Which, I know that's a two-sided coin. I know some would say, well, it's the Super Bowl. You know, let the players play a bit, let them decide it on the field. On the same token, this is a referee who has been known to let shit go by, particularly pass interference over the last few years. It does not make me feel comfortable. So, Johnny, do you think this is the right call by the NFL, or do you think this is going to blow up in their face if they miss something?
There's going to be one controversial call. There's just going to be one. Like, one Super Bowl. Or nothing's going to happen at all. There's going to be a lot of small mishaps.
I should point out the rest of the crew will be umpire Barry Anderson, line judge Carla Johnson, field judge Mike Banks, back judge Greg Steed, and replay official Mike Chase. It will be the first Super Bowl assignments for Anderson and Chase. Johnson has done 2, as have Steed and Banks. So, you got a head referee who's known for missing stuff, 2 referees in the first Super Bowl. So yeah, I'm expecting we're going to be seeing stuff not get called, unfortunately. Hey John, I hope you're doing good. Hopefully, I know your stream went good last night before I ducked out of Splatoon. Hope you're having a good day and all that. Thank you for stopping by for the NFL Picks show. So there's that. I do gotta thank a few of my Saints buddies, because they're the ones who actually announced. The Saints fans were the ones who announced it, because the NFL did not want to announce it. I think the NFL was trying to keep it secret. Also, in non-retirement news, Larry Fitzgerald of the Arizona Cardinals will be back for his 17th season. What?
I swear he's gonna play until he's like 45, and he's gonna have his legs disintegrated into dust and bones.
Now, I will give him credit, and I will applaud him for this. John says you are the bomb. Thank you for everything. Thank you, John, as well, because you are awesome as well. I will give Larry Fitzgerald credit for this. He has never left Arizona. He has stayed there all 17 seasons. He's never left. I applaud that. Where there's players nowadays who get traded or leave for bigger money. He has not. But it kind of feels sad in a way as well, because he's never won a Super Bowl. He's came close. The last time that he actually even got to one was when Kurt Warner was the quarterback. That was the last time they were actually in the Super Bowl as well. So, I do tip my hat to Larry Fitzgerald. I have no problem with him doing this, but I personally feel like I wish he would go to a team that has a chance at a Super Bowl next year, so he could at least try to get the ring one more time. But if he does play, if he does make it the whole season, which he probably will, he will tie Jerry Rice for the most seasons. And right now he's 36 years old, so he currently sits second on the NFL times wide receiving list and receptions list, behind wide receiver Jerry Rice, and Fitzgerald is 6th on the NFL's all-time touchdown reception list with 120. So he'll probably be breaking that. He'll probably be coming close to breaking that record. Now, one of the bigger shockers that happened yesterday, Luke Kigledge, former Panthers, he announced. Yeah, thank you. You know I couldn't pronounce his name, Johnny. He announced his retirement yesterday. We actually talked about this a bit on the Dark Side stream last night. So, Johnny, since you were not there last night, how do you feel about that personally?
I was there last night.
Oh, you were there well, sorry, I was drinking. You know how my mind gets when I'm drunk. he'll usually, when the Panthers are on their bye week, he's in the announcing table for that week. He's commentating a game. So I think that's what they're doing with him. Personally, I'm kind of surprised by it. I know he's had a lot of injuries over the last few years, so I get why he's retiring. But man, he's not even in his 30s yet. So you had Andrew Luck retire, mostly due to injuries, and now you had this guy retire due to injuries. So it is kind of getting a little bit weird on that one. Alright, before we get to the picks, and then of course sports news from other sports, Johnny, you have your best and worst of this playoffs.
Just worst.
Okay, just worst?
Playoff.
Alright, so give us your top 10 or top 5, whichever one it is.
So both of them, I have 10 playoff failures in the decade and 10 failures in the decade.
Okay.
So which one do you want? Playoff failures, so we can laugh at some teams?
Playoff failures first.
Alright, number 10, this might be broken, but number 10, I'm gonna have to go with the Green Bay Packers. Be honest, how do you win one Super Bowl all decade with probably one of the best QBs in the league?
Alright.
Do you know how much they show when it comes to NFC Conference Championship time?
We might see that again, who knows?
They're probably gonna get blown the fuck out by San Francisco. Number 9, I have the Indianapolis Colts. They think kind of like with Green Bay a little bit, except the Colts actually they never won a Super Bowl in this decade. They got close, but that was due to the Deflategate, which, to be honest, I think they would have still lost. What you think? Because they got blown the fuck out. It's not like it was even close or anything. Number 8, I have to go with the Vikings. Minnesota's defense was talented throughout this entire decade, and they had two generational running backs. Well, not generational. Well, one was generational, and the other was a very good one.
But it's the quarterbacks.
The quarterback's been they had one that he got fucked up because of injury. He's in New Orleans.
Yep.
Number 7, this might seem a little too low for this team, but I picked the Atlanta Falcons. My only argument with this is just because at least they need a Super Bowl, unlike the other 6 teams.
And then they choked the Super Bowl away in the greatest of fashions.
Yeah. Number 6 is Carolina Panthers. This is probably one of the greatest Panthers teams we'll ever get to see.
They're 15-1.
Yep, and they fucking blew it against Denver.
But Denver's defense killed them, if I remember. The Denver's defense just ate them alive.
Yeah. But there was also 2013 where they went 12-4 out of the first round by, guess who they lost to? 49er.
Oh, yeah, back when he was...
Kaepernick.
Yeah, Kaepernick and all them were there. Alright.
Number 5, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not because of the talent level, it's because of how they lose.
Yeah, I can understand that because Andy Reid does sometimes show he's got bad clock management and bad coaching decisions.
Yeah. Some of the playoff losses they experience are terrible. Blowing a 28-point lead against the Colts in 2013.
I'm trying to remember who the quarterback was of that one because I don't think it was. I know it was
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith. Okay, they was part of the problem. As much as I like Alex Smith, he's not really known for.
2015, they didn't do anything against New England. 2016, they literally got murdered by field goals against Pittsburgh. 2017 was what was 2017? I'm trying to remember what 2017 was. Oh yeah, they blew a 21-3 lead against the Titans with probably one of the worst plays. That's not how it worked.
Yeah.
You know that one pass where Mariota it was knocked down right back to him. He scored that touchdown.
I remember that. I think somebody just showed that up. Apparently, The Rock's
Number 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4.
That sucks.
Number 4, I had them increased because of what happened this Sunday. Number 4 are the Houston Texans. I feel like they probably wasted one of the one of the better defenses of this decade with J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney. The Texans have been consistently good throughout this decade, but here's one of the big problems. One, they didn't find the QB.
Alright, well, you continue, I'll be back.
Of course. They didn't have the QB until like 27. I don't even feel like continuing if Doug's not here. It doesn't make. But the insists the freaking Texans have wasted probably one of the greater defenses of the league because of bad quarterback management and literally having a clown at head coach. Plus, they're from Houston, so probably making him fuck them over.
I'm back. Done.
Oh, well, number 3, the Saints. They lost a lot of bad games during this decade. They wasted probably a Hall of Fame quarterback. I want to get a lot more in depth with the Saints, but since you brought that up, number 2 are the Pittsburgh Steelers, and number 1 are the Cincinnati Bengals.
Bengals ain't a surprise.
Failures of the decade. Okay, this should be obvious. Number 10, the Detroit Lions. Number 9, the Arizona Cardinals. Number 8, the Washington Redskins. Number 7, the Oakland Raiders. Number 6, the Miami Dolphins.
That's not a surprise.
Number 5, the Jets. Number 4, the Buffalo Bills.
I can't.
3, Jacksonville Jaguars.
I can't agree with that one. I can't even agree with Jacksonville because the defense have been good. It's just that the quarterbacks have always been issues.
Well, the thing is, Jacksonville's they only made one playoff spot the entire 20 out of the whole decade, and they keep starting Blake Bortles and fucking Blake. What the fuck was that quarterback's name? He drafted 3rd overall, wasn't it? Fucking.
You mean Mustache Man?
Not Gardner Minshew. No, not him. The quarterback they drafted in 2010. It was like.
He must not did well because I don't remember.
He was the 49ers quarterback for a little while. Then he went to Tennessee. And then he went to Tampa Bay. I fucking don't.
No one cares because he's not memorable.
Blake. It was like Blake something.
Blake Bortles?
Not Blake Bortles.
I mean, that's the only one I could think of.
I don't even know. I need to look this up.
Yeah. Continue.
Number 2, Buccaneers, and number 1, Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I can't argue with those two. Good list. Hopefully next week I won't get interrupted and told something stupid. Anyway.
I'll explain it more to you later about. Because I got a lot more things to say about these teams.
Yeah, we'll probably. Yeah, probably off screen when I'm not doing a little video. Alright, so let's get to the picks. First game, which is at 3:05 p.m. Sunday on CBS. Could it be Tony Romo's last game on CBS? Wait, who's got the Super Bowl this year?
I thought it was...
It's Fox, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get to listen to Joe Buck, a.k.a. the Mute Man, and we'll be ready. It is the 9-7 Titans against the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 12-4. Kansas City is favored by 7 points. Now here's the thing though, Andy Reid does not have a good track record against Tennessee. Oh, Blaine Gabbert, okay. Here's the thing, while the Titans have done is impressive, they actually do have the advantage here because of the fact of they have a good track record against Andy Reid and against Kansas City when Andy Reid's been coached there. So that is a little bit worrying. Andy Reid's had a hard time beating the Titans. Johnny, do the Titans become one of the few teams in NFL history to start as a 6 seed to go to the Super Bowl? Or do the Kansas City Chiefs stop them here and we see one of the two teams from the first Super Bowl back in it?
I'm taking the Titans.
Oh wow, you're taking the Titans.
They better make the fucking Super Bowl. Now all the pressure's on them.
I'm taking Kansas City here. I just think after how we saw Kansas City make that comeback and obliterate the Texans defense, I'm going to take Kansas City. I think they got the better quarterback in Mahomes. Well, I think it will be hard to stop Henry because Henry's had a great 2 playoff games. This is the game Ryan Tannehill's got to step up and show everybody that he is a quarterback.
I mean,
because if you look at
defense is probably the weakest out of the Patriots and Ravens.
I would agree, but here's the thing: and I looked at both of them for the Ravens and Titans. Well, not Ravens and Patriots. Excuse me.
I know he has low numbers.
Yeah, the quarterback didn't do anything. So I feel like if you can stop Henry, then the Titans are in trouble because the quarterback has not shown where he can. It's kind of like what I said with Jimmy Garoppolo earlier in the year, that Jimmy hasn't shown where he can lead a team to victory. This is the same thing for the Titans. They have a it feels like you stop the running game, they're dead. So I think if Henry gets stopped. But even then, I would have to think it's going to be a shootout. But the question is, if you're not a fan of either team, who do you trust more? Do you trust Titans' running game with a quarterback who can't really run that great, or do you pass that great either, or do you trust Mahomes' passing ability that they'll light up enough points that the Titans will have to forgive on the run? So I am going with Kansas City for those reasons, and I'm going to say this as well. If the Titans do make the Super Bowl, the NFL is not going to be happy. And before somebody says, well, why not? It'd be historic. Tennessee's a 6th seed, you know. Tennessee is what us basketball and Major League Baseball fans like to refer to as a small market team. As much as Tennessee Titans fans won't want to admit it, Johnny, I think even you would agree with me. They're probably one of the small market teams.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't really get aired on TV a lot. Most people can't even name any other players excluding Henry. And before somebody says, well, I can name 2 players right there because they're on the left side above him. Shut up.
Let me see. I could literally
without looking it up.
I'm not going to look it up. So Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, Corey Davis, AJ Brown.
Okay, we get your point. Okay, but here's the thing now. Are you a Titans fan?
I'm not a Titans fan.
See, so no, you don't count in this. Legit Titans fans probably couldn't name anybody on the team. So yeah, I'm sorry. If they make it, it would actually hurt the NFL because I don't think a lot of people would tune in to see a small market team win a Super Bowl. As much as I hate saying this, Tennessee's more of a hockey town than an NFL town.
To be honest, I hate big market teams. I just hate big market.
I know a lot of people would say they hate big market teams, but here's the thing. If a big market team's in a championship game, you're going to watch because of the fact of they have more of a fan base, and particularly if it's a team you hate, like the Yankees or the Lakers, Patriots, Cowboys, Penguins. You're going to want to watch them to see them fail. With the Titans, the only storyline for them going into the Super Bowl would be they're the underdog team. But here's the thing. Well, yes, we can also we love the underdog story. That ain't gonna serve ratings. And unfortunately, as much as many people won't want to admit it, the NFL does care about its ratings. Look at the last few Super Bowls. The ratings were not that great.
I mean, you think the NFL, it's kind of rigged in a way to keep games exciting.
I wouldn't be surprised about that. I mean, there's been people saying that for years. I would not be surprised. Plus,
I mean,
as much as people won't want to admit it, and I know the joke's already been said, if the Chiefs and Packers do make it, that would be a lot of ratings. Plus, hey, State Farm could be the sponsor. Boom, there's more. You get more money from them.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Chiefs versus Packers. That'd be such an NFL thing to do.
Plus, I think if you're going with the history side, you would want it to be the Chiefs and Packers because it is the first Super Bowl, and this is the 100th year of the NFL, so it kind of would be poetic.
I mean, if that happens, I'm not gonna watch it.
I actually said if it's Chiefs and Packers, I would actually watch it. If it's Titans versus Packers or Niners, I would not watch. Because then they'll probably either handing it to Tennessee just just to make Mariota look like a joke and make fun of Miami. Since, remember, the Super Bowl is in Miami, and who did Ryan Tannehill used to play for?
I just say, fuck the markets. Just let the better team win.
Well, here's the thing now. I know everyone's going to say better team win, but we've seen even in the NBA, when these small market teams have a championship run, the ratings go down. So it's like, and even in baseball, when the small market teams make it, the ratings go down. No, because no one wants to see them. That's the thing I'm bringing up. As many people may not want to admit it, most hardcore sports fans don't want to see the small market teams. They want to see the big name teams with the big name stars. And unfortunately for Tennessee, they only got one key star player, and that's Henry. Everybody else, I hate saying this, is a C player. Journeyman players, whatever you want to call them. I mean, if you need the best case example, look at the Warriors from the NBA. Before the season started, they were going to be on TV a lot, but then once all the injuries happened and they were left with a bunch of scrub players, you can't even find them on television.
You can't call people hardcore sports fans if they're only watching big market teams. That's just kind of...
Well, that's the way it goes in any sport, though. I mean, if you go to a fan and say, hey, you have a choice, you can either watch two small market teams with players 90% have never heard of, or two big market teams who have the star players and players and coaches you've heard of. Almost everyone's going to go with the players and coaches they've heard of.
I mean, Doug, let me ask you a question, because I feel like you're one of those people, now that I think about it.
Okay, excellent.
Describe yourself.
I'm not just... No. Now, in this situation, the Titans make it, yeah, I'd be one of those people, because I'm sorry. Titans are a team I don't look at as a football team. I don't. They have, even since they came back, because I remember when they were the Houston Oilers. At least then, they were a big market team. Tennessee, let's be honest here, is not the first greatest place I would think for football.
I mean, here's my argument.
I would put Cincinnati ahead of them for football greatness. I would put the freaking Seattle Seahawks above them.
And the New England Patriots just blew up, like started rebuilding. How many of their games would actually be nationally televised? Like Bill Belichick's gone, Tom Brady's gone, everybody's just gone. It's just a complete mess there.
Probably still be shown a lot, because it's like with the Dallas Cowboys. People would watch their games to see them lose.
It'd be the same situation as Golden Saints.
Not really. Because I can say this as a Cowboys fan, Dallas has not been relevant in years, but we still get the games because of the fact of people would tune in to see us lose. It's like the best way I can to quote Ric Flair here. If you're the heel, or people hate you enough, people would tune in to see you get your ass kicked. No one's going to do that for the Tennessee Titans. Where with the Chiefs, Packers, and Niners, yeah, there will be people who tune into the Super Bowl to see one of those three lose. They ain't going to be tuning in to see the Titans win it.
Oh, that, what the fuck do we do?
And I've already said, if it's the Titans and Niners, I'm not really going to watch because of the fact of I don't like anything from California. So fuck the whole state of California. I probably would be if it is the Titans and Niners, I'd probably be skipping it for another year in a row.
I'm watching it.
Because I'm sorry, I would be forced to either cheer for the 49ers, who I don't like anything out of that state for any sport or any human being alive, versus the Titans, who, let's be honest here, only got this good because he decided to ruin Mariota's career and bench him, who now he'll become the butt of the joke if they win, and will probably get cut and lose his job. Yeah, that's something I want to think about.
He'll be the next starting QB for the Chargers.
No.
Or the Panthers.
Unless he's a free agent, because I don't know if he is or not after the season.
I think he is, I'm pretty sure.
But
They're probably going to set Ryan Tannehill to a
says, I guarantee you if you were to ask the NFL commissioner, and if he was being honest, he would want the Chiefs and Packers, or at least Chiefs and Niners. He would not want Tennessee anywhere near there.
Of course, that's Roger Goodell.
I mean, I'm sorry for anyone who's picking the Titans or is a Titans fan, but be honest with you. And I would want Titans fans to be honest with themselves. If they weren't in the playoffs, would you want a small market team in there, or would you want two big market teams? And when I say big market teams, the big market teams to me in the AFC, Patriots, because people will pay to see them lose. Baltimore, because Baltimore's been a football town for decades. Kansas City, because again, football town for decades. Alright, who was in the playoffs besides them? Houston, I wouldn't consider that big anymore. If this was the Oilers, I would, but not the Texans. And Buffalo was in that middle, because they do got a hardcore fan base. And
They're like they're only really based off of Buffalo. You ever actually see a Bills fan outside of New York?
I've seen a few, but it's mostly when in college. But with that being said, I've never seen a Titans fan in real life. I think that's like I think out of all the teams I've seen fans of in real life, the only three I've never seen: Bengal fans, Titans fans, and this one may surprise people, Jaguar fans. And I used to live in Florida, and I can tell you, I never saw a Jacksonville Jaguar fan in my life. I saw more Tampa Bay and Miami fans, more than anything. But getting to the last game, which is at 6:40 on Fox, it will most likely be called by Troy Aikman and Joey Buck. It's the Packers and Niners. Both teams went 13-3. Weather will not be a factor here, so weather kind of doesn't mean anything. Where with the Titans, I think if it snows, they're in trouble. This one, there won't be any snow, so you're really just going to have to worry about the rain or nice sunshiny day. This is a hard one, because while the Packers' defense is definitely not the best defense in this game, that would be San Francisco. But you have, probably out of the two, Aaron Rodgers is definitely the better quarterback.
I can't say that. Probably been.
Are you going to say Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Aaron Rodgers career-wise?
Career-wise, no.
That's what I mean when I say
yes.
Season-wise, I would say split. Because Jimmy really didn't do anything that impressed me this season, at all. And like I said, almost this entire season, the Niners games they've won have been mostly because of their defense, not because of their offense. At least to me, anyway. Jimmy hasn't showed where he can come back and win a game or keep the team in the lead. He's just been good ball management. It's kind of like with the Super Bowl winning Bears from years ago. They had a great defense, and all the offense had to do was play competent football. But here's the thing, and I really wanted to pick Green Bay here, but I think because of how bad their defense is, if it stays a close game, I think Packers are in trouble, because they're not going to be able to win a close game because of the Niners' defense. Plus, Green Bay does not have a good running game. If it goes to a shootout, I think that helps Green Bay, because Green Bay is going to want it to be a shootout. Because then that puts all the pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo, a guy who even our buddy Dave has said Jimmy holds the ball too damn long. To where passes end up getting incomplete or he gets sacked. He doesn't have that quick release. Out of the four quarterbacks left, I'd say Jimmy Garoppolo is probably the worst one overall. Because of the fact of he doesn't throw it quickly, he holds on to it too damn long. But when you got a defense like that, you can kind of get away with some things. But that being said, as much as it pains me, as much as I would love to see the Chiefs-Packers, I'm going with San Francisco here just because of their defense, not because of their quarterback. So Richard Sherman, congratulations, you're going back to the Super Bowl.
As a 49er, ironically.
Yeah.
To be honest, I really don't think Green Bay should even be here. I really don't.
You think Seattle should have won that game and there was some there was some controversial stuff in that game, you know. That first down that Green Bay got that a lot of former referees said should have not accounted, but
that was just the yellow line. Did you see the actual marker? Where...
I did, but here's the problem. Most of the referees in today's game use the yellow marker. That's the problem.
Yeah. But I don't really didn't see a problem. I kind of saw a lot of problems with it, but I'm just not really good. It's the crap's already been taken to obstacle complaining about it. I really don't think Green Bay should be here just because of how just one note that this team is. They would all year long that this team would go up by like 18 points, proceed to go down by like 13 points, and then get like a very ugly 4-point win. I really, and the teams are actually competitive. Oh no, they get blown the fuck out. Particularly the 49ers game, which remember the Packers played shit against the Niners. And the two other losses came against the Eagles and the Chargers.
I agree with that, but I mean, it's still hard to bet out against. Well, just because he is a bad mamma jam, and he has, when he has time, he has shown this year that still the Rodgers are old, but he's not played the defense like San Francisco, so that's why unfortunately I have to pick San Francisco.
I'm picking San Francisco. Like I thought the NFC Conference Championship was going to be New Orleans and San Francisco. I really thought that was going to happen until the Vikings choked them to death.
Well, remember, my preseason Super Bowl prediction was the Saints. So...
because we know how much of a Bills Saints fan you are.
No, it was the Saints Chiefs, and Drew Brees was going to win his last one and then probably right off into the sunset as a winner. Unfortunately, the NFL probably like, nah, we don't want that. But yeah, I will say this. I think if you're going for the ratings, you want Chiefs and Packers just because of the historicalness to it. I would even say if it's the Chiefs and Niners, you'll get some ratings just because of the fact of it'll be a clash of styles, you know. One team that's built entirely on an offense in Kansas City versus a team that's entirely built on a defense with the Niners. But I'm going to say this right now. If the Titans make the Super Bowl, I don't see them winning it. Because Niners are way better than them. And I would even say the Packers, if they somehow make it and go against the Titans, Packers win that one because they got a way better quarterback. Oh wait, are you seriously going to say Ryan Tannehill's a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, hell no.
I was going to say, anyone who says that, I lose all credibility for them as a football guy. But...
I mean, to be honest, if I do my own pick show next year, we're going to be talking about a lot more macro scale stuff than micro scale stuff.
Yeah, I don't care about that crap.
You talk things on a micro scale level, I'm going to be talking more on a macro scale. Because whenever you talk about games, it's more like micro scale.
That go by the eye test more than anything. I don't
feel like if one play happens, then you kind of blame on them.
Well, you've seen this whole year, though. The refs have been bad this whole year.
Yeah, it's been...
And that's the biggest problem with the NFL in general this year. Why, personally, I'm hoping the XFL succeeds. Because we've seen, and I mean, if you need the best case example, the late hit on Lamar Jackson got hit on, should have been flagged. But hey, NFL, we care about player safety, but we really don't.
Hey, what's player safety?
That's the one thing I will say. I can't wait till the XFL starts because you're going to have 9 referees. Now, I'm going to be honest, I probably expect the first week, maybe 2 weeks that the refs will mess up, but at least there you can say, okay, it's a new league, they're just starting. You can let it slide. I would say by week 4, though, I don't think we'll be seeing it.
But who's going to be your XFL team?
I actually don't have one. I'm actually just going to go into it and enjoy it.
No, you...
Not having the pressure of having to root for a specific team. In this case, I'm going to do what I did with the last football league that was around before it went down. I'm going to be rooting for the league in general to succeed.
Yeah.
That way we finally have something we can watch and stop complaining about the bad officiating in the NFL. And I'm going to say this in general as well. I watch the Canadian Football League. I make that known. You all know I love the Canadian Football League. And this is what I don't get. I can watch a Canadian football game and not see any issues with referees. I can watch a college game, and for the most part, about 90% of the time, there's no issues with the refs. You watch an NFL game, there's an issue with the ref almost every play or every other play. Because they either miss this flag, they miss this pass interference, they miss this late hit, or they call a late hit on something that should not even be considered a late hit. Or some kind of other cockamamie bullshit. What's a catch, what isn't a catch bullshit, or what's a fumble, what isn't a fumble. So me personally, I would say this, the NFL officiating crew this year gets an F again. And I know somebody's gonna say in the comments or on Facebook when I post this, oh, human error. I'm gonna say this, and you can all disagree with me if you want. We're in the year, what now, 2020? We have the technology, we have the ability to make sure every play is called correctly. We don't miss a single flag. Now I know somebody's going to say, well, they're sorting on every play. That one, fine. You can't argue. That one, there is sorting on every play, so you can't. I know if you flag that, the games would go for an eternity. That one that one I've let go. But I mean, with the pass interference, the helmet to helmet, and everything else, if you're going to screen player safety and you care about the players, you have to get every flag right. You have to get every call right. You can't miss one, or else stuff like this happens. Fans get angry, and then when they find out, oh, there should have been a flag, it brings up in the question whether the refs miss it on purpose or they just that damn stupid. I mean, I'm just saying, I think I said this in the wild card game when I thought I saw how Wentz got took out. When WWE referees have better eyesight than NFL refs, there is a problem. But Johnny, I'm going to ask you this before we go. Do you think referees miss stuff on purpose, or are they just that damn dumb?
I feel like I might go on a little bit of where do most of the controversial stuff happen?
It's mostly when they're hitting the quarterback, and we've seen quarterbacks who get flagged barely getting touched, and then we've seen quarterbacks who get hit hard as hell and there's no flag.
Yeah, and what kind of games are they in?
Usually games that are either A, very close, or B, a team's trying to make a comeback.
Yes, exactly.
So what are you getting at with that one?
Well, my belief is it mostly comes out the top.
So you think Roger Goodell pretty much tells them, hey, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah.
I would like to believe it sometimes, but...
Well, it's not that hard to believe, because, there's even people... I know a few people who think that Vegas mobsters, whatever you want to call it, do kind of have sway in what happens. You know what I'm getting at, they like... Plus, I'm going to say that thing called fantasy football, right? You can't tell me the refs ain't... I would believe that the refs kind of help each other out and all that crap. Next week will be the last Madden video of the year, because we'll be doing our Super Bowl predictions.
I'll do a random list, because why the fuck not?
We'll be going into more deep,
Random list or two.
and we'll probably be going into more detail of finding out what players have retired or are coming back. But until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.